You know what? Some of y'all you need to have your phone taken away from you. You know, in the midst of last week's chaos, of course, with the taking out of Charlie Kirk, trying to choose my words wisely. There's a lot of people out here that are taking to social media, letting the world know what they think, how happy they are, how much they're celebrating, how they have no remorse for the man's family, and they are so slow that they're putting it all on the internet. And now we have people all across the country like straight up losing their jobs. Like the money that they make, their careers, the fields in which they went to college for, gone. All because they could not control their mouth. All because the hatred that's deep within their heart starts to manifest out in the open, and now they're getting fired. I just want to get on here and talk about that. The fact that you could be so hateful that you don't even care whether you lose your job or not. Like, and just imagine hating somebody so much that it doesn't even matter whether you make 100K a year, 150K a year. I'm just gonna get on Facebook or Twitter, X, Instagram, and just spew out my feelings and the way that I can't stand somebody, only for your employer to see it, and then you get fired. Let me tell y'all something. Everybody has a right to their opinions, of course. You can feel however you want to feel about whatever situation. However, that doesn't dismiss consequences. Okay? You work for a company, an establishment, just understand that you represent that company. You represent that establishment. And most companies and establishments want to try to remain in good lighting with society because it's a business. But I feel like a lot of people who work for these businesses don't think before they speak, which is why they put posts out here on social media parading that Charlie Kirk is no longer alive. First of all, just like I stated in a previous video, you sound like a psychopath. You're crazy, you're wicked, you're evil, you got demons. In fact, last week, we saw a really, really big manifestation of demons in this country after that action happened. You really saw the true colors of people after that action happened. You saw the mask come off of people once that action happened. And people really let you know who they truly are. So much to the point that they don't even care whether they're sacrificing their own jobs, their own livelihood, and then let these be the same people complaining later how there's no opportunity in this country and how freedom of speech is not really free. And look, you can say what you want, but that doesn't dismiss what could follow that. That doesn't dismiss the response. You feel me? Like, people got to understand cause and effect. Regardless of how you feel, you have got to mind your mouth, okay? I have my personal opinions about all different type of things, but if I'm not having a face-to-face conversation with somebody discussing matters, I really don't think that social media is the place to do it, because a lot of people won't even hire you if your social media is full of negativity, bigotry, hate, racism, wild stuff. They won't even hire you if you're there. And if you do work for an establishment and you post that stuff, you're liable to get fired. And from what I'm hearing, well over 200 people have been fired from their jobs. Well over 200 people. Now I could tell you here, locally, real estate agent, right? Don't know that, I forgot the name of the company, but she got fired because of how she felt about the whole situation, you know? Don't be shocked. Like, be careful, folks. Whatever comes out of your mouth, you will reap what it is you sow. And celebrating death is definitely not something that companies want to be associated with. It's just a terrible thing in the first place. People, you got to be a really crappy person in the first place to even celebrate the demise of somebody. And it's a good thing that your company does terminate you if you do talk about stuff like that, because the same thing that people get upset about, right? And say, hey, this person wasn't a good person. Who cares about their life? The moment that you say that, you literally turn into the person that you claim to hate. Because to hate somebody else is hateful. To not show love and grace to somebody is hateful. There's no love in that whatsoever. And if you think otherwise, then your ideology when it comes to life is all screwed up. It's going to be very hard to get a job when people see that you got fired for, spewing hatred on the internet. And, we live in this age now to where people just feel like they have to say any and everything on social media. Like, they put their whole feelings, their life, their business all on social media in front of people to look at and to judge. And y'all need some friends. Real talk, you need some friends. Because if you keep doing this, every time I look, somebody's incriminating themselves. There's kids who get on the internet flashing weapons and flashing money, and then before you know it, the feds kicking their door down. People, they go live on Facebook when they're getting ready to do something stupid, and then they're shocked when they get caught. Like, it's crazy. It's insane. But anyway, look, be a good person. Have some respect, especially for somebody who's no longer here. Whether you love them or hated them, you voicing that doesn't really change anything. He's gone. He's not coming back. But at the same time, what is the point in bashing and celebrating? I'm just trying to make sense of it, which I absolutely can't make sense of it. Because again, to throw away your whole career on account of an opinion is just, it's not of this world. It's not of this world, which is why I just truly believe with all of my heart that demonic activity has definitely reared its fangs last week in the form of the actions of people taking to social media. So you see it right before your face.